Hello, loves. I am so excited to talk to you this week because I have just a really interesting relationship with the idea of neutrality. There's a person in my life whom I adore and love to the ends of the earth, who, for the last months, years, I don't know, this person has sort of said, well, I just like to remain neutral, as if remaining neutral was a sign of their enlightenment or their spiritual growth, because it is not taking sides, it's not shaming anybody. But here's the thing, folks, it is no longer good enough to not do harm. I do believe that there was a phase in our human consciousness in which not doing harm was the goal. But that is not where we are anymore. There is no such thing as neutral. There truly is not. There is not a such thing as neutral. Physiologically in our body, there's no such thing as neutral. And everything has a source. Every action has a thought that inspired that action. And every thought has a source. There's God or spirit, the universe, and there is separation from God. Your source is God, spirit, or your source is from somewhere in the separation. Sometimes that source is known as ego. I think this is a great time to pause and read a pretty famous Elie Wiesel quote. Eli says in his Night trilogy, Night, Dawn, The Accident, "We must take sides. Neutrality helps the oppressor, never the victim. Silence encourages the tormentor, never the tormented. Sometimes we must interfere." And while not all discussion of neutrality is as dramatic and intense and meaningful as things like World War and racism and genocide, it remains true that silence will always favor the oppressor. There's a beautiful image that we use overtly and consciously where there's an elephant sitting on a mouse. Um, Obviously, this is a caricaturized image. If we used an actual image picture, that would not be beautiful. But when you put the quote of silence favors the oppressor and you're looking at an elephant sitting on the mouse, you can easily see how remaining neutral does not help the mouse. And it also doesn't help the elephant. Does the elephant even know it's sitting on the mouse? It probably doesn't. There is no such thing as neutral. Neutrality is a myth, and we need to break it down. As a consciousness, as a race of humans that are having a very chaotic human physical experience while in the midst of also being spiritual beings, we need to come together and recognize that not doing harm is not a great goal. The greater goal is to be a force of love. I honor, recognize, I hold space for the idea that sometimes speaking up will be painful. It will cause conflict. I honor that. I see that. I'm not making light of that. Sometimes speaking up will put us in the middle of things. It will break the peace. But remember, it silences the oppressor. We are called to be love. We are here to help heal, whether that's heal the planet, heal the people in our lives, heal refugees, heal the political divide. However, that shows up for you, it's going to show up for all of us differently, but we are called to help heal, and there is no such thing as neutrality. That's not a good goal. Love is a verb. It is an action. It is a decision. It is a way of being. Love is not stilted. It flows. It moves. Love is not silent. It speaks. It sings. Love does not take sides, but it recognizes what is of God spirit and what comes from the separation. Love is discerning. Discernment is not judgment. Discernment is wisdom. Neutrality and love. Oh my gosh, you guys, I say this with so much love and affection, but I'm going to say it. Neutrality is often cowardice. You can claim that you are remaining neutral for the sake of keeping the peace. And so long as there is peace, there's still hope that we can come together. But under what pretense? You got to turn the light on. You got to deal with what's real. If something's not being said, you need to say it. Defend those that need defending against. Speak up for those that are not represented. Not doing harm is not a good goal. Not causing conflict is not a good goal. Serving the highest vibration of love that is available to you, that is the goal. Being a shepherd for those in your life that need you in some way, whether they need you to speak up for them or whether they need you to reflect back to them what they're not seeing. Be willing to go there. Be willing to have the conversations. Be willing to be patient with the outcomes. And remember, there is no such thing as neutrality. When you stay silent, you favor the status quo. Sometimes the status quo is just fine, but you need to know what you need to know. Neutrality is not neutral, it's often cowardice. We're not here not to do harm, we're here to do great things, to heal and to love. I love you all. I wish you bravery and discernment on your journey, and I'm here to help. Have a beautiful day, loves.